Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the best game that I hate. Whoops. There we go. Hey, Dream Whisperer. Hello, Vigilant, Mr. Red, Hyperspeed Folklore, Permeus. What's up? Hey, we can walk into Kim's room finally. Hey, biodegradable. Hello. Oh, for God's sakes, this freaking game. Let me move. That sounds pretty cool, hyperspeed. The rent is, in fact, 20 a night, yes. Next to a stack of bills, you see a note. Sorry, I screwed everyone. 01. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs. She left in a hurry. Relax, not everyone is out to trap you. You say that. But yeah, no, that's a pretty expensive, which makes perfect sense for anybody who's actually for anybody who's actually had to rent a hotel anytime in the last, say, decade. You know just how expensive hotels are nowadays. They didn't used to be. Motel 6, you know. Anyone remember that? 20 bucks a night. Hey, of the 3 places I said it was likely, she says it came from the island. Yeah, what difference does it make? On the bright side, I've been getting a lot of exercise lately. Well, got a couple things to do. Let's see how this works out. Kind of hoping we could beat the game today, for many reasons. Schedule being the most obvious one. We've been playing this for 3 days now. What happens if you arrest her, Console Hot? I am super never playing this game again, Console Hot. I would rather shoot myself.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
Yes, thank you. Big improvement. You're welcome. I thought it'd be nice for you to clean up after you defended this establishment as clientele from gunfire. I give credit where it's credit due, and that, sir, was a nice shot. I was watching until you hit him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyways. I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying free now. This establishment supports cops. Stay is free. The drinks are not. Just to specify. People don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business. Are they still in town? Nope. Yeah. So, Von Beaconeater, that looks like a sub message, but there's no sub. I'm very confused, sir. Stoic nods. All three of us nod stoically. Oh my god. We're turning this into a glitter silently run. I don't know. I think you might be lying to me, Von Baconator. I might have to have you taken outside, if you know what I mean.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you, but I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. That was one hell of a shot. Hell of a shot. The fucks did not expect that. I guess what I'm trying to say here is thank you for intervening, fellas. That was mighty brave of you.
Dude, I shake his hand. There it is. Well, either way, Von Baconator, thank you very, very much for the sub. Very much obliged. But the only drink I ever drink is seltzer water, so I will put that towards more seltzer water. Water doesn't grow on trees, you know. Actually, I can't drink my tap water here either, so I feel you on that, Von Baconator. I have. You ever see me have the bottled water? That's why. Because, yeah. There's actually another reason. It helps me to stay hydrated. I know that sounds stupid, but it's easier for me to remember how much I need to drink in a day if I literally count bottles. Because, you know, I'm stupid and constantly working. Anyways. Not a lot of cops would step in the line of fire. I've been trying really hard to not rag on cops, but I recall a story about several policemen who actually decided not to get involved in a particular altercation because they felt that it would be, that they would be in danger. So a civilian got involved and got stabbed for his trouble and decided to take the cops to court. And the court said, yeah, no, they don't actually have to get intervened. Protect and serve is just a slogan. It's not a literal statement of legal intent. No, this is unrelated, although I have seen the subway thing, but I don't know if that's actually legit or not. I've never looked into it. Maybe it is the same thing? I don't know. While looking into case law, I came across this incident. I have also seen a YouTube video talking about something that's pretty similar. Don't know if they're the same case. Like I said, I never looked into it. I like brown. Black shoes, white shirt. I like it. So I am now regular cop. That's a good question, honestly, Console Hot. I don't have a good answer for you. The answer they give is literally just, well, she knew where the glass was and she could figure out the ballistics of it. God, I hate that stupid horn. Graffiti's been placed over the trace of the fight. So like Cindy the Skull finally made her thing. Un jour je serai de retour près de toi. I don't know what that means. Listen, you don't understand. The moralists are the bad guys, yo. Or the communists are the bad guys, yo. Or the fascists are the bad guys, yo. I mean, take it back. Hi, I'll be back. Okay.
Oh my god, things have gotten out of hand. I thought the psychic stuff was bad, but the crime, it's even worse. I haven't been able to come to work for 3 days. The shop has been locked, no sales, gangbangers running around, shooting everyone. I know I shouldn't have bought a shop in this ghetto.
Well, if you remember, your husband was kind of behind that. See, I'm not a good guy. But I do think the fascists are probably bad guys because they're fascists. Of course, fascism is something that doesn't actually have a definition, so there's that problem, but you know. Maybe I should close the bookstore and open a psychic studio. Crime is the sixth element, you see, the darkest element. That's worse than a bookstore in Martinez. But anyways, I wanted to tell you I found the actual source of the doom. My investigation has led me to discover a 2mm intraplanetic hole in reality. It's the source of the doom, both in Commercial and in Martinez. A hole in reality. It's connected with the Pale. Ma'am, what he's telling is true. We found an entropinetic anomaly in the small Pinewood Church across the coast. But that's not in any of the ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that? You cannot protect yourself from the Pale. I mean, you can have hope or you can peace out. What do you guys think? Should we tell her to hope or tell her to peace out? Because, I mean, both are pretty valid options here, if you think about it. Yeah, I'm leaning towards peace out. Because, yeah. Although that would be funny, isn't it? The Pale is spread by despair. God, that would be messed up. Apparently, she refuses to leave. Oh, what's that movie with Will Smith as Superman? Have you seen that, Prometheus? I can't think of the name of it. I like how we're limping now, by the way. Hancock, that's it. You'd be Hancock. I know, right, hyperspeed? Can we just stop being here? Whatever, let's get out to the frickin' village and get on with this. We're on day 4 now. We're gonna do it. We're gonna end the game. Hopefully, maybe. When Cthulhu comes for her, it won't even notice she's there.
Officer, what happened? You're wounded. Why are you wounded? You look terrible.
You're not limping, you're just you. I just got shot, that's all.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on the Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
Rather than bragging to this woman that I am not going to try and date.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
You should date me. 3% chance of success. That means I need boxcars to make that happen. But no, we need to get to that island. What's on the island? Nothing, just ruins. Used to be some kind of fortification. Anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. Wait. You haven't been there? Who has been there? My husband used to drink there, him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink. People died there during the landing, you know. Kids sometimes go there. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such. Hey, Baron. Oh my god. Okay, fine. Can we borrow your boat? I thought Baron was about to say, how do you mind control Cthulhu? And I was immediately going to answer, by being a cute cat. Hi, Corwellis. Please kill me. Kill me. Corwellis, kill me. Oh god. Oh god. You've been to the island, right? Yeah, the one that's out there. It's just a seafort. You can take a raft there. And we make a fire. Yeah, gather sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets. There are lights, and the fire guy comes, asks us to put the fire about. No. Yes. Let's go with yes. So someone lives on the island. Probably the killer. Hi, Platty. I think this is it. I think we're zooming into the end game. We got this, guys. Why does he ask you to put the fire out? He doesn't like people. You shouldn't go. You mentioned something about lights? Did you mean there are electrical lights? Yes. Age? He doesn't live there. No, he lives there. Huh. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes. We ran. He yelled we shouldn't be there. Anything else you can tell me about the island? There's a... Alright. Well, let's do it. Yeah, no. Let's not hear about how much worse this world can be. Especially since I have a weird feeling it's about to get even worse. Once you get in, that's it. One pull and you're off to the bay. You made all the necessary... So this is another point of no return. Which, at this point, I'm gonna laugh if, like, we're 40 minutes from the end of the game. Oh yeah, nobody answered me, but I'm gonna give a gameplay positive. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm also gonna add a gameplay negative, though. What the? Hello? Whatever, this is already copyrighted like crazy. Enjoy the song. I hope this doesn't get blocked because of stupid music labels. No, it's fine. Let's just leave it unmuted. It's fine. I don't even care at this point. I got typing to do. Here, I'll type over it. At least that way I can kind of claim that this is a transformative work. No, I did not, Carwellis. I mean, I kind of did. Would I call this game beautiful? No, I don't find corpses beautiful, no matter how well designed they are. Carwellis, come back! Ah, he's gone. Why does everyone keep asking while I talk with Joyce? God! I already answered this question. Sheesh! So pushy. I can't do it. I really want to give this game... I've been I know, Carl Willis. I'm just messing with you. I really, 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 really want to give this game a negative for story. I do. But I can't in good conscience. Just because I hate the game does not mean that it's a bad game. You know? I am, however, going to change the thing to reflect that this is a coffee game. And probably add a depression warning to the review. See, the problem is I can't actually give it an aggregate if it's the only part of the aggregate. I haven't thought of any other aggregate negatives. That's not true. I thought of one. But 2 minor aggregate negatives do not equal up to a full negative. Aggregate negative number 1, in case you're curious, is the game shoving you into, you know, political stancing. The RCM may descend from the ICM. Or it's hard to say, though. I talked to her, but I don't think I had a satisfying end to my discussions with her. Make of that what you will, Carwillis. So what do I want to bet my theory was correct, and we're going to find some old person like Renee here. Although I have no idea why some old person who used to be part of the Communist Army would have shot the mercenary guy. No, Carwillis. I mean, I learned quite a bit from her. That's why we were discussing the Pale at such length. But otherwise, no. Sure, spoil away. It's up to you. I am never going to play this game again. So, you know, make of that what you will. I failed to drop the roll. I don't even care at this point. Yeah, we did the church quest, Carwellis, in its entirety. Rather successfully, I might add. No, I didn't care enough to keep pursuing the club. I just kind of want the game to be over. What, dancing to disco music? Oh god, I'm right, aren't I? Oh god, Carwelas. Yeah, no, this is definitely a suicide world. Holy crap. Hmm. And that person is the protagonist of the next game that we already know they're working on. Am I right? Or maybe we're playing the same... I hope we're not playing the same character. Please don't make me play the sequel to this game, guys. Please. Please. I mean, I can't stop you. No, whatever. We apparently need fuel. That's true. I could rule this a Hellblade Senua. I mean, that is literally... This is literally the exact same reason why Hellblade Senua is on the Forbidden List. Literally the exact same reason. Sorry, let me say that right. Literally. So yeah, I mean, I kind of called this a while ago, but yeah. In our defense, nothing pointed here. Many, many leads pointed elsewhere. Could the shooter still be here? On this island. Yeah. I don't know if I'd agree with that, Carwelas, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. In the expansion in like 8 months. Maybe. Communism killed us all, Console Hot. Death is preferable to communism. I think is the quote. I don't actually remember. Better dead than red. Oh, it can't possibly get more depressing. There's no way. Thank you, Vigilant. I can never think of all his quotes, but they're all gold. Alright, fine. We'll sleep here just so we can be even more depressed than we already were. You know, I was just thinking to myself, Lore, you only have like 7,000 reasons to kill yourself. Maybe if you had 7,001, that would finally be the one. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass, half an hour, then you feel yourself standing up in the darkness right next to the mattress. Slowly the world begins to hatch from the darkness. It's evening. I'm guessing it's because of our ex-wife, Corwellis. Kim? Kim! No. Kim! Kim! I could kill her, Console Hot. I do have a long-standing career of killing deities. I've got to just mark another one off the list. Well, nothing works, Baron, so I just kind of get back to work. We're playing Duskers next. I don't really know anything about it, but that's what we're playing next. Kim's dead. I ate him. I was really hungry. Well, I'll just walk into the ice-cold water. Where do you want me to go again? There we go. Hey, look, it's totally Dolores Day and definitely not anyone else. Off to the Advise the Queen of Chest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mundi, and definitely not your wife.
Hey.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have bothered you.
Yes. I mean, no. But I am in a hurry.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there. In Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
Hold up, hold up. I've already talked about the distance thing. Yeah, that's what I thought. The distance between here and where she's going is a little under, or a little, let's do this, a little over twice the diameter of the planet Earth away.
Just my scepter, my globe cruciger, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity. Anyway.
We need to have one more massive epic showdown.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
I mean, apparently this whole plane is hell, so... I know you still love me. No, she doesn't. Yeah, we read that earlier, Corwellis. You're the morning, the X something. Wow, apparently the only choice is to embrace the insanity. That's actually irritating. Just go... None of these options are go. This is actually irritating. Well, I guess he'll enjoy lifelong torment. Honestly, I'd just shoot myself. I mean, he's got a gun. Well, he had a gun. I have a gun again. I currently have another gun that I could use to kill myself with. Let's do it. Let's go solve the case, and then let's kill ourselves. You think I'm joking, Consulate? Okay, ignoring the fact that this world is nightmarish and horrible. Let's ignore that for a second. Let's get to this. If he is really that broken up about this for some reason, if this really is such a horribly nightmarish thing that he is tormented by it multiple times a week with no escape, that is eternal torment. I've already experienced worse than death in real life. I don't really feel like I want to go back to that. So yes, I'd shoot myself. -1 shivers, -1 Inland Empire. Absolutely. Except I am boring cop. Apparently, his methods of escape have not succeeded, Consul Hot. Because, yeah, he's already tried drugs and alcohol. Didn't work. I mean, you could argue it worked, but here we are having the dreams again, so obviously it did not, in fact, work. We had a chance at having a completely new life, and we were denied it. You see, that is exactly why I don't like this game right there, Corwellis, in a nutshell. If I was to explain all of why I don't like this game in one sentence, it would be too real. Yeah. I don't feel like having my open and bleeding wounds poked and prodded. Just me. I understand that not everyone's that way. That's fine. That'll be fine. We'll weed him. We'll shoot him. It'll be cool. Go into the reeds. Oh, we can't go into the reeds. Alright, fine. Whatever. Hi! Are you fire guy?
What now? I can't hear you.
Did you really see tell two kids to put out their fire?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around trying to give up the position.
The what?
Fire guy, regressive bourgeoisie henchman, can't even talk like a grown-up.
I see you've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight, yes, helps me see all this shit.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
Infinite power.
I should have burned that console down.
So how'd you know I was coming?
The boat engine on the water.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice, it's a piece of shit. Gets the job done.
Is that a Bella Magrave?
It's a Dragon 446.
A Samaran rifle? How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Xinyao commune. Military aid.
Wow. The Xinyao commune?
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk wiped from a board.
There was a third metastasis of the world revolution in the Safri Empire, extinguished in '06.
They wouldn't like hearing their name coming from your mouth. A damn dog.
I'm gonna need you to put the gun down so we can proceed. We're with the police.
You're a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
This is not gonna succeed, because it never does.
A big-time operator of the Pederast army. How about I keep it, huh? Hand it over to a real killer. A Briscade.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're going to blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets. The future teaches you to be alone. The present to be afraid and cold.
That's the marching song of the World Revolution. In Grad, they sang Brave Children, Favorites of History, and in Hinshao it was some Samaran thing. Something about shooting rabbits, I don't know. Doesn't matter. I suppose I should be reading this out loud. I'm going to be trying to skip over some of it. On the butt, you see a Vespertine writing burnt into the wood. Made in Hinshao. No one said it had to be a Bellagrave. We were just guessing. From ballistics, it could have easily been a Trigon, too. Doesn't matter if it was made in Shinth Sidinth. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition, which it does. This looks very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him for a conversion in time. Who are you? My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, political commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Ravishol. I'm a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my terms of surrender. This is my termless surrender, excuse me. There behind him across the delta, the instrument production building. The Commune of Ravishol. You mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the war? Yes. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle. I'm not going to read all this. I left my unit on the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and subsumed my partisan duties. I've been on this island for 43 years. No, I've been on other islands, too. I was on Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18, and then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came here. That was 22 years ago. What is this guy, Japanese? That's not racist, that's a reference. 43 years and 10 months. It's not how human beings should live, but I had to. I couldn't forget. I couldn't forget what I saw. You couldn't give up. But you can now. What have you been doing during all this time? Hiding, fishing, waiting. Always waiting for her to return. The girl-child revolution. Women will always betray you, it's true. 100% of the time. Women are more susceptible to bourgeois morals. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try. Whatever I do. You said that you deserted your unit. I was 16 years old, 15, when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith, and of courage, too. You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat, and thought Mazovian socio-economics were fallible. For a second I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second's all it took. For the reaction to take hold. Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men. You were afraid? It's the same thing. You haven't seen it. Not really. Not naked. It's impossible not to be afraid. And this was when? May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition ships. Their... Yeah, Blackfile knows what I'm referencing. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. And then when they started shelling... The combined might of the international capital, all at once, the greed and terror in the world, tore into the Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower. Huddled on the floor, the artillery was 80 kilometers away in ozone, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash, so I said I was going to the map room. I ran, climbed the chain link across the water, and hid in the island. In the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak, like a mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and of the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring. Airships! I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged, too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or gotten torn to shreds up above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality. The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love, all the hope and tenderness of the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. Then you see it as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes, and then you know the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight. I had to never stop. This is not an island. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. It was the congenitally deformed King Felipe II, built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in 02, retrofitted the fort with a AA gun to defend against the airborne landing, against the entire world. They called it Operation Deathblow. I found out later on the radio. They called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone. I'm just going to skip over that. Iblis, the black-eyed angel. I don't know what that is, so we're just gonna move on. How does anyone survive? I steal. Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being. How's your health, Mr. Dross? I've been throwing up blood since last winter. Red like beetroot. Passing it in my stool, too. The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over. I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you is toy guns. Actually, we do have medicine. I have been running out of medicine. There's nothing to look over. The triage is in and it's black. Administer morphine, moribund. How have you coped mentally? I haven't. I have holes in my brain, years missing, others filled with pain, a decade of... I don't know what. Inferno? No wonder all your minds are rotting from radio waves. I watched the traitors of this city turn the lights back on, more and more each year. Ruins glittering in the dark like a merry-go-round. It's disgusting. How have you concealed yourself? It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds, flood lines in the water at night. Those were posters, campaigns. We communards still hoped they needed to snuff that hope out. East capitulated, Martinet and the Coal City were turned to dust, but Jamrock, even Cowron Boogie Street, those Kipts, had Mazov coursing through their veins. And others, too. Kipts is a racial slur, by the way. Some cordons of Revachol were still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. They all went silent. At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark. And when I got to the city underground, patrols, U-lot, commons, they'd start snitching. I'd move from bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk into town if I wanted. So why don't I? I don't want to. They're all traitors. Rabbits, pigs, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals. He's a nice guy. So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belgrades, right? Useless now, rusted away. Have you been there? Sleeping, some nights, ammo scrounging on others. Those Margraves were crap even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chambers, however. The propaganda bunker? I used to stay in there. They stored leaflets there, broadcasting equipment too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys. A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. I don't need to go underground anymore. It's better than the ruins on the ground. You said this is your termless surrender. Yeah, you're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces Borgese morals in Revachol. That's right, we're with the good guys is one of the options I can give there. But yes, we are with the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, Le Parti Communiste, blah, blah, blah. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all into a mass grave for trying to free humanity. Nice guy, really. I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army. I was trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something. His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune. Scientific communism! A commissar politique is a knight philosopher of the revolution, a future human. That means you're trained communist, right? I'm not really into politics myself. You're inert lumpen with a gun. Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. Yeah, so. Boop. What have you been using this gun for? I've used it for killing people. It's a gun, that's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism, defending your family and your property? I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people. There's no after the war. Class war is never over. Did you use the gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor, Colonel? Who now? Corpse in ceramic armor. Did you shoot him? Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy. I am son of a welder. An officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pedantists of the liberal regime. Hi, Sail, dear. I don't need your cooperation. I have the gun. Not a lot of guns around with military-grade ammunition, are there? It's a real gun, not like your little musketeer pistol. I've seen you prance around with that, jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed. You would have a good view of the tribunal from here. But we do have the murder weapon. You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it? I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon. Better. So we've done the ballistics. I saw you poking around there looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies, whatever that is. Did you like the view? You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete specifically meant for a topfaller to use. You had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here too long. You clearly need medical aid. I'm ready to die. I've done my part. Where's the scope? Get your stupid scope. I don't know what it is. Find it yourself. It's your problem now. Well, this is the best uninterrupted line of sight into the window. Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid idiot. Radio Gauche is right. You have worms in your brain. There were Maybells, which... yeah. There were Maybells behind the victim's window. Damn Maybells. The whole island's turning white with them. So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away. I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Montenay, only here. They blossomed the islets before. We fertilized them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered Borgies children to play with. Must get a louder lot to stay undetected all these years. You know any secret path pinball workshops? I may. A young woman named, I don't remember how to pronounce it, these dried flowers behind her window. You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim. With the victim. I wonder what brands of boots you're wearing. Everything is brands with you individuals. Who cares what brand my shoes are, Sansa? It's something. Fine hair. The maker is called Sansarique. You can see the V-shape. We can't make out their size. They are not the unusual horizontal patterns you saw in the dust. They do, however, seem to be the same size. People change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there near the victim died sneaking around. Making those brains, are you? Desperate to report back to your masters? You must have really loved that dead bastard. The prints were his. You can see it in his eyes. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. You know who he was? A coalition-trained murderer, armored and armed. He wasn't human, the blunt end of a hammer dripping with blood. I mean, yeah, he was a horrible person. Beating us to the ground, moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. Maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basements. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die in the hundreds. Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol. I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew in the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death and that stupid look on his face. And then nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own, and so they did. Apparently I'm a fascist now, too. Mr. Dress, you were you confessing to murder? Yes. And they were having sex? Through the scope? Right. Yep. This is where the motive is coming from. Why were you looking at them that night? I'm always looking. Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm trying to understand. The rifle's scope has the best magnification, and you don't like it. You pull the trigger. Think of it as a form of critique. What did you not like about the night you saw the murder? They were having sex, so you were jealous? Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself, drugged out, soothing the odds of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted her to see his head explode, that too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. It's all it takes for the bullet to reach the head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for the mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her, but you can't have everything. How long have you been watching her? Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds in the early morning beneath the Feld building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have any skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving. She was past the Feld building on the coast. She was hiding something in the water. And she had a cigarette after she'd done up. I was up in the ruins here. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared. What do you think she hid there? Her passport and tickets to Villers, and from there to Cashborough. Which is exactly what she told us, so that was true at least. Yes, after she'd gone, I looked in. Well, I looked. It was well made. Not that we should have gotten her to tell. We did get her to. Whatever. Well, I take them. I'm going to phone. Or, I mean, moving on. Did you continue watching her after this? I did. I could see who she was too. A spook on the run. Revachol's the cloaca of a capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals. She had different color hair in the photo and glasses forged. Some sordid Borgese affair. Heard about this kind of thing on the radio. And you could see the bruises through the scope of a rifle? You can't see bruises on the scope. Fail! God damn it, that was a 72% chance. Thankfully, the lieutenant picked up for my failure. Yes, I went there and... hang on. You turn... not going to read this part. I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hours are a good time. Kitchen's empty. You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How? I got that open a long time ago. Some Borgies game merchant lived there, I don't know, 15 years ago. They left spare keys all over and I took one. I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope. Did you have... Really? Carwelis, wow. Did you have feelings for that woman? There's nothing to hold on to, only this. It's not enough. Man needs to feel something else in this fight. It helps keep your eye on something there. It's a weakness, I know. There's been others. Oh yes, over the years. It's not unproletariat to feel something. Was that why you left the dried flowers? No. I don't really know why I left them. I was there one night and she was crying like a child in the corner of her room, like she does sometimes. It was the day after I'd killed him. So I brought her the Maybells. I don't know why I do things anymore. I told you, I have holes in my brains. I wouldn't be sitting here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you. So, in conclusion, it wasn't about him, it was about her. So there's the motive. Where is she? I haven't seen her for days. Yeah, she got away. Gone. I know it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking, staring right at me. Doesn't matter. Have you looked at anything else you haven't liked? Tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, rentiers. Familiar picture. Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house, stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinet is the worst. Because of the racists! This is hysterical coming from you. I guess he's more classist than racist. Everyone's a racist in Martinet. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows in the ruins and their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachel 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by the Social Democratic Union and the farce of a social democrat who runs it. Mr. Clare, the fly larva in his container, he let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Felipe III, a syphilitic murderer, on the town square. Ugh. Not since the serfs of the ancient Peloponnesus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinet proletariat. The rest of the Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people live in ruins. Yes and no is the answer to your question, Carwelis. I basically was incapable of turning it in before I triggered the endgame, so I did all the quests, but I never turned it in. Tense like animals, like those boom-boom morons on the ice. Pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs. Worst of them is that blood-drenched Sacriant on her yacht, licking her lips. She's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead, so actually no. The worst is that old idiot parading around in his uniform, Rene, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that racists and liberals are dancing in our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too. Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Ozone or Coin Moraine or some of the other islands they've built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want, sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain is just an excuse to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frizzle is now dead. We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only in the 30s those disco whores... What? Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only nonsensical sputter. Something about a statue, nihilistic advertising. Something about a statue? Syphilis is a disease, apparently we've never heard of. Felipe II contracted in a whorehouse. Statue's an abomination. Bacteria entered his brain and made him squander trillions on sparkling wine, cocainium, and monuments of himself. His son, Felipe III the Insane, contracted syphilis in the womb. That is technically possible, although Felipe III was not actually syphilitic, he was just mad. He still went on to govern Revachol for 25 years. We lost 2 million lives toppling that mode of government. Those grotesque statues, dude, hundreds of them. Yes, it is still. Do you know why? I do not know. I do. Some advertising cockroaches uses their accumulated capital to erect a new ironic version of it. We tore it down with honest working-class plastic explosives. But there it is again, grinning. Art is a bourgeois establishment. It's an affront to humanity. Every gallery should be bulldozed, and the artist should be given 30 years of hard labor in the Yakataka. You mentioned the Union is social democratic? Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. True enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses. That deformed toad, Ivar Clare. I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own arse. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one. That mobster toad couldn't run a dung house. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare. That one's been to the East Revachol Universities. Talks a big game about uprising and alienation. First against the wall with him. The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Have you approached them? I haven't approached anyone. I've hid. It was Edgar who came to me. How do you know you were here? He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. Like you. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster. I told you, he has brains. Stepping right off the boat and walking down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things. 20 years ago. Neither of them would walk now, could they? They were less fat then. Edgar did the talking, paid his respects like I was a fossil in a uniform, offered platitudes about the struggle, flaunted his pink degree, even quoted Mazov. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Mazov. Oh, and charity, too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he bought. He let you be here? Let me be here. The Tsar is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this. Did you kill the Colonel mercenaries for the Clares to incite a riot? You know why I killed that bastard droid. As to Edgar, I'm not doing anything for that swine again. Again? Tried teaching them some Mazovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. So I assume you were referring to Renee? Every morning for 34 years, throwing that ball, one ball after the other. I've always loathed that game. I'm kind of with you on that next time. It is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls play it. Hang on. I'm getting a little bit of bile in my throat from reading all this. Give me just a second. Okay. Royalist ghouls play it like it was life itself. Clack, clack. He makes the sound of possible. Across the water every day. And that uniform like a parrot's plumage. I won't even mention he's a traitor to his race. A pedantic, maniac race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from La Noche. Not personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out. Before the liberals came to their rescue, we missed one. That one. Fat and plump like a pheasant, just begging to be topped off. Ah, please, Mr. Dross, shoot me. You'd like to kill him? Not yet. I like to look at him, strut around. Place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bonbon melt in my mouth. He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat. Actually, he's not. We didn't hit day 5, Console Hot. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that bastard Rene for the boys he killed. And then I look at him throwing those balls, and suddenly I feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. I haven't seen him there lately. Let's go ahead and try this. Failed miserably. Other people. Yeah, who else have you killed? That's it. That's what you're connecting yourself, because I failed to roll. I didn't fight 40 years to end up an informant for the international regime. What happened, happened. Look who's up, he grins at you. From the drunken stupor. This one's worse for wear than me, emotionally frayed. Life is hard for us human beings in deregulation hell, isn't it? So, disco horrors? Horrors. Apparently he really hates disco. Okay, cool. Let's try this check. God, why are my dice crap? Yosef Lilyanovich Dross, you're under arrest for the murder of the Colonel here in Martinez. What? You said I would be taken to the... The wind picks up. The silence in the waters is broken. Slow shivers. Lieutenant continues. Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers in the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You'll be given legal counsel within 1 week. You must face course within 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand? No, I don't want to. I have to stay here! Your confirmation is not required, sir. Nope. Of course I fail. Every dice check in this entire goddamn game I failed. the hell is that? A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb, just standing there. It's still there. The old man, what are you talking about? I point to it. There's nothing there! The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with tiny pinprick eyes and a grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking and your gun hand rising. I've finally gone insane. Oh my god, he can see it too! We're not insane! Once, just for once. Thank God, if he can see it, you're not insane. That means it's really there, spinning slowly in absolute silence. Be very, very careful. Save. As much as I love failing these rolls. The creature stands on long, stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from the head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It's no more than 5 steps away from you. It's the Elysium phasmid. No, the flash is too loud. I won't like that.
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
He has one other photo, if you remember. Okay, take the picture, sure.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away. I need a better moment when it's not looking.
Electrochemistry, of all things? Oh, wow. Shaving after getting the pheromones actually reduces our success chance. But we have a very high success chance anyways. I was just waiting for that to be a failure. 92%. I was waiting for that to be... We rolled 2 2s. That was a junk roll. God. The tracheal system of the creature's abdomen expands in front of you to take in and expel air. It's smelling you. Hissing and clicking, it extends its mandible-like antennae to greet you. You're right below it now, looking up at the colossal chitin of its white limbs. The head of the creature is crowned by reeds, and its water are like droplets. It's smelling me. The insect's head is crowned with reed-like scales, the shape of seed heads. They rustle as the air moves. The ventricles at its abdomen continue to expand like lunglets. Raise my hand slowly. Raise the other hand, too. Unwittingly, the insect continues its stridulations. As it moves, tuft-like structures pretending to be plant rustle on its joints. Hello. I'm Harry. I have no idea who I am. No reply. Little bubbles in the mouth parts of the creature on the segmented lower lip looks to be foaming. Okay, it's foaming. Maybe poisonous. Hey, Inland Empire, that's going to be a 58% chance. This is a straight-up coin flip. You ready for this? Fail! What a freaking shock. Wow, it didn't run away. Slowly reach out and touch its whisker. The antennae hang from a great height. With your hand shaking, you barely touch the tip of the left whisker. On contact, the chitin curls into a spiral like the tip of poison ivy. The touch on your fingertip feels cold and ticklish. It's surprisingly delicate, the curly end of the whisker, like a young vine, even a bit wet. I will look at my finger. It's glistening. I will back off. And disengage, I suppose. I mean, do we actually talk to it, or is it just our insanity making words where it is? I know that Shivers is actually accurate, but this... And off it goes. Just for you guys. Just for you guys. It's a coin flip, so this may take a few tries. I'm just irritated. I'm not irritated by doing this. I'm just irritated because I can't. Where is this? I was gonna say, that's wrong. I'm irritated because I can't save in mid-conversation, which is one of the minor complaints. It's actually probably one of the larger minor complaints that I have. Okay, so the creature is there. Save! That's true. At least insanity is something I can wrap my head around, ironically. Okay, so. Approach carefully. Success. Okay, it's smelling me. It's working! It's working! So it does that. It's foaming. There's Inland Empire. Save. So first, let's get that picture. Alright, Inland Empire. Actually, hang on. Ah, yep, that's what I thought. We only get the one shot of doing it. Okay. Ah. Come on. Hopeful. I don't think I would call anything in this game hopeful. So far. Certainly not... By the way, I love how the big murder mystery is solved because it's some crazy ex-communist bastard who just killed him because, basically. Because he was stalker crushing on a woman who'd never met him. I exist. I exist too. Tell me what it's like for you. I'm ill. What is your illness? It's in my head. I am insane. I am not. There isn't even a central nervous system in my head. Only mouth parts are eating wetland plants. I will tell you how it is for me. For me, it is a series of half-lit images, a kind of darkness being intruded upon, transient, dim, and moist. Intruded upon by what? Shapes of plants and animals, and internal sensations, a swarm of sounds, tiny vibrations on the inside of my forearms. All speak of complexities totally beyond my understanding. I am the end of a narrow funnel, weightless, so light it only feels like something to be me. In truth, perhaps I am nothing? I certainly do not have a soul. If I did, it would never ache. Few of us can begin to imagine the horror of being you, with all of creation reflected in your forebrain. It must be the highest of hells, a kaleidoscope of fire and writhing glass, eternal damnation. Even when you're sleeping, and when you wake, you carry it around your neck. With eyes open, you cannot help but swallow more behind the mirror. I feel great mute empathy for you. So I say, I've been keeping it together. That must be incredibly hard. The anthropods are in silent and meaningless awe of you. Know that we are watching. When you're tired, when the vision spins out of control, the insects will be looking on, rooting for you. And when you fall, we will come to raise you up, budge you from banner-like, blossom for you, and carry you apart in the sky funeral, in honor of your passing. But not me, I'm just a leaf eater. Interesting. I am a detective. So am I. I was born to detect sucrose rewards and semiochemicals. What were you born to detect? The killer. He is in a bad state, deteriorating fast now. He thinks I am beneficial to him, but I am not. I only quicken his deterioration. I'm destroying him very slowly, and only because he won't go away. It is meant to keep them from noticing me, to interfere with the pictures in their heads. He has looked at me too long, and I'm destroying him. No, you are awake. I am real. Light is forming me. This is real. Probably. Totally. Maybe. Definitely not. Where do you come from? Not even the birds know that. Even the water lilies. You can also eat it. If it's a leaf, you can put it in your mouth. Yum, yum. Or read. What exactly are you? I am an unknown species of an order of Phantasmodia, endemic to the insula Isola for the last 350 years. I have hidden in plain sight, masquerading as the reeds, molding, cloning myself, unfolding at night to play with the trash bins and the buoys. I went unnoticed by the first settlers and the land surveyors of the suzerain, also by the soldiers of the Revolution and the officials of the occupation. Even the Seminoles Islanders who came here first, but did not stay, have not seen me. I have stayed hidden through 4 forms of government and 2 scientific revolutions, until I was accidentally discovered by the detective of the Citizens Militia in Revachol, District of Martinet, March 51st. That's insane. No, you are. The moral of our encounter is I am a relatively median life form, while it is not. Well, it is you who are a total extreme madness, a volatile simian nervous system ominously new to the planet. The Pale, too, came with you. No one remembers it before you. The Cenarians do not. The radial symmetries do not. There's an almost unanimous agreement between the birds and the plants that you are going to destroy us all. Wait, the Pale is human-made? It is a nervous shadow cast into the world by you, eating away at reality. A great unnatural territory. Its advent coincides with the arrival of the human mind. You are a violent and irrepressible miracle. The vacuum of cosmos and the stars burning in it are afraid of you. Given enough time, you would wipe us all out and replace us with nothing, just by accident. We suspect it will be something like the oxygen holocaust that wiped out anaerobic life 2.6 billion years ago, when organisms first started breathing, only much worse. Instead of air, you exhale thoughts. There are no trees that eat thoughts. Everything your eyes touch goes back there, behind your nerve mirror. What if you blink? Are we still there? Please don't blink. What if you misplace us all one day? Or just forget? But I want to blink and undo 12 billion years. No, I'll be extra careful. I've already forgotten the whole world once when I drank too much. So it is already happening. Soon, one of you will close your eyes and open them to see that none of this ever existed. Kim, am I having an epileptic seizure? Doesn't look like that, huh? What does it look like? You're just staring at it. Well, I think I'm having a vision about the final fate of mankind. Okay. Is it somehow related to the case? No. I think we should take the picture, and then you should back away from the unstudied specimen. I have to say goodbye now. I have no more thoughts. That was all. No, there's one more. Of all the creatures I've met, you are the kindest. Thank you. I also have one more thing to say to you. That woman, turn from the ruin. Turn and say farewell for all mankind. I can't. I will try, or I will. She was hell on earth. It doesn't take a 3-meter stick insect to tell you that. I guess we're done here. Yeah, apparently the Pale really is the warp. Who knew? What's that in the reeds? Yeah, I'll check on them in a second. First, we gotta check this thing. We have the... There's the armored helmet. And the scope. We're totally putting the helmet on. It's the only piece of armor we got. Oh, yeah. Looking good. What's this thing do? Increase half-life.
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Oh, yeah. Sir, how can you not see the phasmid? The man does not respond. He's going into a psychomotor immobility. The good news is this solves our transportation problem. Between this and the broken tire he's using for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here while we go and get help. I'm gonna let you rest now. Hang tight. It's probably also partially why he was able to stay so thoroughly hidden for so long. With the phasmid here, or phasmids, as the case may be. So, I'm actually not sure what the game wants me to do, really. Guess we'll find out. Stop playing the game. I mean, yeah, that's where we're going. Yeah, like I said earlier, Blackfell, this game feels like doing drugs, which is not a sensation I enjoy. A lot of people like surreal things. I'm just not one of them. Hey! Right before the end, cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something like Martinet came and stored it all away for you to slowly unbox 100 times? You can choose which parts to keep. And we'll never get Wasteland of Reality.
Look what the tide brought in. Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it's completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. This is the man with the sunglasses. Wait, where's your sunglasses?
That's right. And you're bleeding.
I forget about this. There's this giant...
You're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Look, no one else is bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it? Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant.
First of all, it's not my name.
Fuck it. Let's not get into that.
So who are you people?
Hello, I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
We have.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicmar, and this is your special task force, or what's left of it. Special consultant Trent Heidelstein, patrol officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us. We might need your help with something later. But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you've got to have my back. Let's destroy them!
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
So, what's this about?
Harry, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in.
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
That's an interesting moniker. How'd you know I was here? Cafeteria manager you screwed over told us where it went. Damn you, cafeteria manager! You've betrayed me for the last time! I'm not actually gonna do that. You mentioned task force. Who else is in this? Refresh your memory. It's a major. There's me. I'm technically just a civilian. Screw you. You're part of this. Okay, so who's Guillaume Bevy? Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. It's a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here, and Tramp because I'm forcing him to. It's a crime unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. So where have you been all this time? Where have we been? You told us to screw off. You said we were cramping your style. You're Detective God. I said all those things? Yes, you're sorry. You're the sorriest cop who ever lived. Nothing's changed. I've heard this repentant stuff a million times over. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have any visible tremors. He talks without slurring, can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning, all good signs. But complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic. Meaning you forgot both who you were and the definitions of money, Isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station caller interaction with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine before, when Harry did not seem to know who I was. All very interesting. Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I'd like to hear Harry's thought. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, socioeconomically? Yeah, these guys claim they know me. I don't think I believe them. You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? Not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think I don't know critical theory. I know everything is far-fetched. I think it should be off the table. He lost his memory because of capitalism? No, not like that. I'm not talking Birdwell School here, but what do you think happened? So I can say I drank so much that I lost my memory. I lied, which is not true. There's a 2mm hole in the world over there, which is true, but probably doesn't have anything to do with this. A lie, or a defense mechanism, or capitalism. So, should we mention the 2mm hole in the world, or should we say that we drank? Let's mention it. Screw it. Corresponding to the 20cm hole in your brain. Sure, that theory has great symmetry. No, seriously, I'll explain later, but... So yeah, he was just confirming my story. Thank you, Lieutenant. Just to clarify, I do not think isolated Instrument X are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory lost after drinking too much Commodore Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us. But he has blanked out before. I have? Yes, a couple of times after some more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other's when we looked at that mural. Interesting. So first he dipped his toes into it. Prepare. That would have gotten the idea. Practice. Then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all, but something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon, living the people, the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years as a police detective. He's like a magnetic reader on a world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushing flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed it for end. Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you here. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a cretin? I want to know that. He is not a cretin. He is able to do work, if not in his previous detective leadership role, then as a line detective. Yeah, I'm fine with being a line detective. For now, I misphrased that question. I should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty? Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here. Really? No, now we discussed that. What the hell did you do our motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry? I drove it into the ocean when I was drunk. So refreshing, he admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real, a police property that's coming out of everyone's pay slip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, show me your badge. In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain the grip on the plastic and it slips out of your hand. Wow. I failed that hard. This is a flip to the ground. Flip to the coin, which we succeed at. Man is unimpressed by the piece of plastic. And your gun? As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements. Yeah, you don't have your gun. I have a new gun now. I don't care if you have a new gun. I only care about your old gun, your official sidearm. Yeah, no, I lost it. I knew it. I told you I wouldn't have it. I would say it's very bad, yes. You're drunk like a jackass. Please put your stolen firearm away before you kill someone. Why do you smell like a corpse? He's wounded. It's been a long week and he's actually handled a corpse. Yeah, I've actually... yeah, sorry. Bit of a week. You're drunk. And you let a suspect escape because you were too drunk to assess her flight risk. I'm not going to tell them the truth, really, because no. Oh, well, if she was specially trained, I'm not even going to get into the other suspect, the one who shot herself in the head, or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. That was freaking mass murder. He did everything could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant DuBois got in between them and the locals. And he did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot not once, but twice. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life has been minimal compared to what it would have been. Thank you for the input, Lieutenant. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. You spent the week with him on the case. What's your take? On the case? No, on him. Well, the drinking, gun-toting, and losing the badge, that's all true, though he has not been drinking on the job this week. 1 week of not drinking. Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's just strange, especially in light of his political views. He's a true blue moralist. Ugh. A man of the center, not prone to political outbursts, which is commendable, but also at odds with his behavior. Then there's the motor carriage at the sea, something I was not present for, but despite all, he's a great detective, one of the best I've ever seen. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. And all the times I've spent with him, he has not stopped working on the case once. He is tireless, madly driven. And he solved it near perfectly in the 1 week. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator locked in the island right now awaiting transportation. He apprehended a straggler who stayed behind for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed more murders over those years. Oh, and he discovered a new species. A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged at the reed. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we were dealing with the insolent phasmid. He takes out the photo. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, it might be the largest land invertebrate we ever saw. I can say... I actually really like option number 2, to be completely honest with you. But I'm going to go with option 4. Is that somehow connected to the case? The killer did not seem to be aware of the phasmid's presence, exhibiting a strange typical dementia. He fell into stupor after its appearance, became near catatonic. Yeah, it probably can contribute to his mental state. So it is connected. I must say, this is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for this. Yes, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. This is a very sad man who's just seen something that made him forget his sadness. Now you can make your case, now or never. Okay, so the killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him. A revolutionary matronym? The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms, Krasovich, Larsovich, and then they saw this as chauvinist, so they used matronyms derived for their mother names instead. This man's mother was a Lillian. He's Lillian's son, Lilianovich. Oh my god. The custom was overturned after the revolution, but never made it original. Thank you, Tron. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive? Yes, jealousy. I thought this was an old man, been hunting for 50 years or something? A strange psychosexual fascination, the result of spending all his time in solitude on the islands of the bay, and trauma, too. He gave himself a political reason. In his mind, he killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet in the dead mercenary's hand, and 2 officers in the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to. I'll win her back with this, is the option. Jesus Christ. Smack! There we go. I did all I could. I've never doubted you can pull yourself to go to work in bouts. Bouts don't last. I can still smell booze on the wind. The previous head of the Debarros unit was assassinated by our killer. I prefer not to undertake anything union-related for political neutrality. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area, just while we're on the subject. It's through... There's a fridge we needed and possible witness. He was chasing a lead and ended up advising a local shopkeep. It was okay. Call it community outreach, right? Confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. You're right, I don't want to know. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright, I mean, at this point, anything is... Actually, no, I didn't. The least amount of fees would be PayPal overall, Nova Knight, because that takes 3%-ish from me. And Patreon takes 15%, and Twitch takes 50%. If you do Twitch bits, that takes 15% to you. It makes you pay the cost rather than me pay the cost. Those are all the options. Also, the Phasmid was female. It was due because of female nesting behavior. There were no eggs that I saw. It had gathered items in a nest. Actually, notes would indicate it was male. This is far from being my field, but such nests are Bowers. Could have been male. Must have been robust. Let's talk about this. Incredible. The PR value of this exceptional cop discovers new species. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Absolutely. This is great. This is not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science news in human interest. That's a really good thing you have that photo. So, what do you want to say? You want to take me back? I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. I think that ends the trial is okay with me. Agreed. Public relations, but until this 2000. Okay, we have new vehicles in the square and the pro-trading. Let's go. Hang on, who am I? Who am I? You're a gym teacher, Harry. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore. But before? Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher. It's getting really cold. Maybe we should... No, that explains a lot. Harry explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair. Collection of fallen sportswear I have. Some of your more old-school wording choices, your posture, the constant stretches. When was this? When was I a gym teacher? In your 20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then. You said I was in Koron? Yes, you taught your gym in Koron. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. High school gym teacher. Why did I join the RCM? The regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to the big fight. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, why am I like this? It's not a mystery. Some chick screwed you over and you're a drunk. Dora something? Wait, Dora Ingerland? So we weren't even married. No one's married anymore. This is Ravishol. When was this? God, I don't know. 6 years ago? Before my time. 6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you? 6 years? Not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old ears plus 1 normal ear. That and Dora England. Really tore you a new one. Big one. Who was she? Incredibly bangable? Huh? She was extremely she was gorgeous, okay? I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. Well, you never recuperated from. I think she taught at the academy, or something like that. Point is, you need to see a psychiatrist. Not a psychologist, several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist. Go talk to that. Okay, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre? No. No? Because the suspects seem to think you're too unstable to work for a mod boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mod boss would ever take you. I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. I was right, by the way. We were a Joe Pesci, and no one wants a Joe Pesci. So, Precinct 41. What kind of station are we? We're the bloody murder station. Haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. Nobody likes us. Respects to you. You have Captain Price. Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being too kind. It is an understaffed station. The district is too big, which is why we need to get back to it. Torlane and McLean? Yeah, comic duo, I take it. And the C-Wing is... There are 4 wings here, A, B, C, and D. We're C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized as a task force. It was a mistake. And Price... is apparently a really good captain. Do we recently shoot up a church by chance? No. Shooting up churches never. So I'm working for the plate merger station. Okay, it's not the plate. It's an old covered silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there every day. So, final thing. Lieutenant Kitsunari, what will you do now? Well, first I'll go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone's ever seen. It'll be good to cover all this. There'll be serious talk with my captain. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. I need to be ready. You want to do that at Station 41? Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. No, I mean, investigate. Come work with us. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsunari. We would be flattered if you'd even considered it. He turns very serious all of a sudden. I would have to tie up things with Griff first, but, I mean, yeah. We also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to the mountains, even. Achievement unlocked. Recruit Detective Kim Kitsuragi. Kitsuragi, there we go. Okay. I'm not Lena... Oh, no, I need to tell Lena. That's right. Who's Lena? She lives at a cryptologist. She lives there. I need to know about the fast. It's way over there. Fine, we're going to drop you off anyways. She and her husband were conducting research. It's their discovery. Screw it, let's go. Trant brought this motor car. Just 20 minutes to drive to Jamrock. Under the noonday sky, the Sky District hums. 80,000 living souls in chimney stacks. Fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41 to Boogie Street, forking to the snow-swept horizon. You close your eyes and hear dogs bark. A lone woman sits by the factory at Windbow, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Germain, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Torsion? Yes. McLean? Yes. Hiddleston? No. Vickermere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? I hear he's unstable. You say that's like a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a small ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the RCM. Understood. Minot? Of course. The end. At last. I'm gonna mute this. If that's okay with you guys. I have this sudden urge to take a gun and shoot myself. I don't know why. It's not like, life is meaningless and nothing means anything. And honestly, there's no point in anything because it's all futile and pointless, right? Just give me a second here. I'm going to degauze for a moment. No, I don't want to get Pokemon Bank. Why would anyone get Pokemon Bank? Don't answer that question. This is really loud music. Like, really, really, really loud. My God. Alright, I know a lot of viewers have been doing this thing lately where once the VOD goes up, they'll pull up the end of the final video. So for those of you who are, joining us for the final viewing, first of all, welcome. But second of all, yeah, no, I can't think of any other pluses or minuses to give out. So that's +4 to story. And, God, that's loud. +6 to gameplay. I'm probably yelling here, aren't I? Hang on, let's stop doing that. This is really loud. Can you hear this? Anyways, but I want to talk about this briefly. This is a... I've used so many different ways to describe this. This is entirely too real. Entirely too real life. Not dark. This is not a dark story. This is an uncomfortable, dirty, ugly story. This is a story about how... I don't have a good word. I actually don't have a good word to describe this. It is a surreal, weird, drug-filled, drunk haze story. It is very well written. It is very well constructed. It has issues. It definitely feels like a first game, if you know what I mean. Like I've reviewed a lot of games like this, games that feel like it is their first game that they've made. This absolutely feels like the first game that they've made. And it feels like this is a good launch board for a career, basically, for a good franchise. There's a lot of excellent world building. That's one of the positives I gave to story. And there's room for a lot of additional things. This specific story even ended. Yeah, and then we're just back to the credits, or the title screen, excuse me. There's a lot of specific stuff from this that could be continued forward. We've got the political revolution, which just got kickstarted. We've got the Pale incidents. I'm sorry, let me be more clear about that. We've got the fact that the city has a brain. I mean, we have several ways that this specific story could go forward. The art design is excellent. I don't like it, but it is very well done. You might wonder why the story is so poorly scored. First of all, let me just say that while that is a valid statement, I also have not given any story negatives, because the closest thing I can think of to story negatives are so minor that they're not even worth mentioning. But I can't in good conscience give the usual things I would give to story to this game, because I didn't enjoy the characters, and I didn't enjoy the plot, and I didn't enjoy... blah, 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 blah. You get the overall point. So I couldn't actually give that. It's too weird and too surrealistic and too druggy and too ugly and too dirty. I can't give positives for something that I actively despised. But I will say that this is probably one of the best examples of coffee, my terminology for coffee, that I have come up with in recent memory. If you are capable of enduring this game, and yeah, I'm going to put it that way, this is absolutely worth a look at, and a playthrough, and a replay through, and a re-replay through. And this is my final point here. I don't think I'm actually going to give the game a full positive for replayability. I'm debating it. What do you guys think? But I will say this game has ridiculous numbers of paths and options and variabilities that can go through going forward, depending on how you want to do it. Like, it's insane. The catch is that I look at this and I'm like, see, I would never replay this, of course. But even if I just ignored the story, I still wouldn't replay this. And the reason why is because too many of the really minor irritants get in the way of making this as enjoyable as it probably should be. That's one of the negatives, one of the aggregate negatives that I gave the game. Well, the end doesn't feel like an ending. The end feels like a to be continued, or the story goes on, or however you want to think of that. Which I can't really give a full negative for. Also, that's only one of the endings, of which there are many. So that's why I'm hesitant. But I mean, a +4, +6 is actually an extremely good score. I know you're probably thinking, no, it's not, Lore. You give +30 to really good games. Yeah, I give +30 to the best games ever made. +4, +6 is a very good score. So, yeah, no, I stand by my statement. +4, +6. +4 to story, +6 to gameplay. So, yeah, no, I guess that's it. I guess that's my final thoughts. We've actually got a decent amount of time, but I think in the interest of trying to get some other work done, I'm going to go ahead and chop off here for the night. Tomorrow we'll start Duskers, so I'm going to be 100% real. I might do something else tonight to try and decompress. One final anecdote. I know I've already said this today, but for those of you jumping in for the finale here, this game literally gave me nightmares last night that woke me up and prevented me from sleeping for about an hour and a half. I already have sleep issues. I'm not sharing this to be like, oh, poor me or whatever. I am giving evidence to showcase just how much this game was bothering me. This is not some idle irritation or some tickle at the back of my throat. This game got to me. Okay? A little too real. So, that is my biggest warning. If you're someone who has issues with recovering drug use or alcoholism or depression or futility, and I want to stress that word specifically, because this game hit the futility button pretty hard. If you are someone who has those issues, don't play this game. If you can deal with that, if you're one of the person who can endure that, who can work through that, then I absolutely recommend you pick this game up. I know that sounds strange considering how much I hated this, but this is a very well-made game that I hate. This is why I don't do 4 out of 10 as a system. Right here. So, with that all said, I'm going to go decompress, try to get some work done. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I've tried to be entertaining for this run. I know it's been hard, and you've just been seeing me being a nerd, so I'm sorry. I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow for Duskers.